All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. We'll wait a few more minutes. I see you. We got Mayor Shelton on. Not seeing, I believe, Commissioner Turkin and Commissioner Hay were supposed to be on, as well as I think Cruz is watching. Commissioner Cruz is watching on YouTube. So we'll give it a few more minutes to see who logs in. Also, just so everyone knows, Dan's not feeling well, so I'll be running the agenda review tonight.
I think we should get started.
Okay. All right. We'll start. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the agenda review meeting for the January 20th upcoming City Commission meeting. I'm Andrew Mack. I'm Deputy City Manager. I'm running the meeting tonight. The City Manager, Dan Duggar's a little under the weather from his travels up to Tallahassee. So we'll go ahead and get started. Number 3A, which is the announcements. We're requesting a proclamation to call the 20th Bulldogs Day in celebration of their pretty much historic season that they had this year. They had 7 teams make it to the Super Bowl, and we had actually 3 teams win the Super Bowl, as well as one of their cheer teams won their cheer, competition as well. So we're going to have a bunch of kids and cheerleaders in the audience on the 20th in the beginning of the meeting. So I would ask staff to kind of allow for seats for the Bulldogs and their players and the families so we can celebrate them. Looking forward to this. It's been a great season. I was actually there the day they won the Super Bowls. It was pretty impressive, and I'm pretty proud of what they've accomplished this year. Item 3B, the Economic Development Department, Gigi and Michael Kellner's team are going to be providing us an update on the strategic plan, as well as a presentation and kind of talk about where we are now and where we're heading with the strategic plan. Let's see. I go on to 5A, and I'm going to let Candace go over 5A through D.
Everybody, 5A is to ratify the selection of Robin Kurtzman as chair and Margaret Roberts as vice chair for the Art Advisory Board. 5B is to ratify the selection of Ms. Alicia Roundtree as the Community Redevelopment Advisory Board vice chair. The CRAB board voted during their November 19th meeting to appoint her to that position. 5A, we do have 2 waivers that are being sought for our board appointments. One is Ms. Regina Fay, and she's seeking a waiver for a residency requirement for the Senior Advisory Board, as well as Michaela Lewis is seeking a waiver for the Education Youth Advisory Board for the residency requirement. Moving to 5D is our advisory board appointments. I'm going to go ahead and pull those up. We do not have any openings for advisory board, the Art Advisory Board, or the Building Board adjustments. Applicants. We do have 2 applicants for the Education and Youth Advisory Board. Commissioner Cruz has the regular appointment for the vacancy. Commissioner Turkin and Kelly have student vacancies, but the 2 applicants are for the regular appointment. Neither one of them are students. And once again, Michaela Lewis is asking for a waiver on residency. Moving to the Historic Resources Preservation Board, we do not have any applicants for that, nor for the Library Advisory Board. For Recreation and Parks Board, Commissioner Cruz also has that regular vacancy for, and the applicant is Matthew Wojciechowski. And for the Senior Advisory Board, Regina Fay, once again, is seeking the waiver for residency, and Commissioner Cruz also has that regular vacancy appointment.
Thank you, Candace. And then item 5E. Was any questions?
No.
Okay. 5E the planning staff has put this item on for us to coordinate updates for the comprehensive plan. Gabe, are you on? Do you want to talk a little bit about this? But we're asking for an hour for the February 3rd and February 17th meeting. And do you want to go over any? Yeah, go ahead.
What's going on? How you doing?
Keith, you're on.
I know it's supposed to be 40.
Gabe.
This is Gabe. I think Kevin was able to log back on if he wanted to speak for it, but if he can't have audio, then I can speak to it.
Okay, can you go ahead and speak to it on this item, the comprehensive plan? I know, is this a requirement for us to have these two meetings? And then,
For the
or do
workshop,
they have to be on the, excuse me?
So for the workshops, we do have requirements to be able to lead up to it. The
Mhm.
dates may be able to switch around if they're not agreed upon from the commission, but we do need to have them. So that can be definitely up for discussion if the dates aren't working out.
Okay. All right, so that'll be our discussion at the meeting, is kind of try to coordinate that with the commission on deciding whether you want to do them in front of the commission or whether we need to have a special meeting or however you want to handle that. Those are things that we can talk about the day of the meeting as well. Any questions? All right, Candace, I'll let you take 5F, talk about the meeting.
Sure. So the National League of Cities 2026 Congressional City Conference is going to be held March 16th to the 18th with pre-activities the 14th to the 15th. So we could have potentially not have a quorum on the 17th, depending on commission travel. So this needs to be brought up for discussion to see if we need to move the meeting. Likewise, District 2 and 4, they ran unopposed. It's supposed to be their swearing in. Staff is suggesting March 23rd to 26th for a new meeting date, and there's a calendar on there so they can review. And that's just in case we're not going to have quorum.
What about the 19th, that Thursday?
Sounds good.
Was there any issue with that date?
If you could pull up the calendar.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like the
We see the
19th it'll just be the day you're returning back from the.
Yeah, usually that's a travel day because the 18th is the last day of the conference itself.
Got it. Okay.
There's no major meetings on the following week, the 23rd to the 26th. And we have that extra week in between for the commission meeting. So because the commission meeting wouldn't fall until February or April 7th. So we have like that extra week in between. That's why I put in that suggestion for the 23rd to the 26th.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm good with the 23rd.
Okay.
I am too.
Okay, so when we get to the commission meeting, we'll finalize that with the rest of the commission and we'll get that date changed. Just to let everyone know, I did get a request just now through email. Allison sent me, Commissioner Cruz, we got your request for the all-in learning proclamation. We'll work with staff on seeing getting that onto the agenda for Tuesday. Commissioner Cruz asked if we could add a proclamation for early learning day.
Okay.
If I can
right.
have the information sent to me and who's going to receive it, I can create it.
All right, no problem. Actually, you're on that email, Maylee. All right, 6A. Simply, we're asking to use some of the opioid settlement funds to do training for the police department. I think that's a pretty win-win there, using those funds to cover that training. B and C, we're just awarding grants through the Economic Development Department, our small business marketing grant, and then also our small business support grants. The business marketing grants are $2,500 a piece, is 9 awardees, and then we have 11 for the support grants, and they vary in amounts. Any questions on those that you wanted to look into, or I have Michael Kellner on if you have any questions. All right. 6D. I'm catching an echo. Somebody mute turn down their volume, please. Still hearing echo? All right, good. 6D. Lost here. Okay, we're this is related to some of the public hearing items. This is a consent item to release unity title on the land. There's 2 parcels that are conjoined with a unity title. In order for our site plans to be approved, this unity title needs to be approved. Planning staff can talk a little bit deeper into this if there's any questions, and we'll also get into the site plan approval this later on coming up in public hearings. 6E, approving authorize the city manager to sign amendment between the city and the DEP. This is a grant that we have to rehab and replace the lift station up at the Oceanfront Park. We're just reallocating funds and extending. They're giving us an extension on the timeline. They're reallocating funds that were in one category for design or planning to the construction cost. There's really no more money, just utilizing the full amount of the grant. 6F is we're ratifying the previous mayor, Stephen Grant, requested to utilize the amphitheater to hold a menorah lighting. And we obliged to do that. And we had, unfortunately, under the facility use agreements, this has to come back to the commission to approve. So to approve it, the event's already happened. It was a very small event, just a little small event that they had in the amphitheater. So going forward, we'll try and get that done. It was a last minute request to get that done. So the city manager did authorize that, and we're just bringing it back to the commission to ratify his actions to allow that to happen. 6G, can you open that one up, Candace? I wanted to show them the actual restricted covenant. So this is related to our acquisition of 670 Oak Street. We came to agreement with the sellers. They would like to impose a few restrictions on the land to ensure that it's compatible with what their vision, or at least what they, that they want to see. I'll go down a little bit more to the restrictions. So most of the restrictions are okay. The height restriction gives us 36 feet, 2 habitable stories there, as well as we can use the roof for if it was a beer garden or something to that effect. Also, structured parking or dry stack marina, there's no allowed on 670 parcel only. And then on the third part of that is we're preserving the development rights there that currently exists for residential development. So if we purchase this property and if things don't go awry, we still have those rights under this to allow us to redevelop it, or at least to sell it to another person to redevelop. The real crux of this the restrictions relate to the allowable uses in the rec zoning. They want us to only be able to put rec zoning uses on this property, as well as a 25-foot setback, which is code 25 setback. And then they want to put a restriction of 32,500 square feet for the maximum building square foot. So that's the maximum building that could be built on that site. Current code requires a 0.5 FAR. This is actually a little bit over that. So we're looking for some flexibility to make sure that we could accomplish what our goals were with this park and this project. I do think these are compatible with what we're doing, but I just want to make sure the commission is comfortable with that. You could modify this if it became a problem in the future. Right now, we don't anticipate that, but it would take an unanimous approval from the commission to change or modify this restricted covenant that will be run with the land. You guys have any comments on this action?
Is the contract contingent on getting this done, Andrew?
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
we can't close. So we are hard on our money with them other than this particular aspect because it had to go. I couldn't speak for the commission. So if you guys don't approve this, then we would terminate the contract on the next day. But I don't anticipate this being a problem. The square footage kind of made me a little bit nervous, but I do feel like we can accomplish it because even by code right now, only could put a 0.5 FAR on this, which is about 32,000 square feet.
Got it.
But not knowing and not having a site plan, an approved site plan, knowing for sure, typically we would ask for, if it was me purchasing a property, typically I would ask for not to close until after we have site plan approval. That way there's certainty on this. I do feel that this is fine. I think we've covered it. I just wanted to make sure the commission is fully aware of what the implications are. If we close and there is a problem, we may have to bring this item back for discussion and or amendment.
And the city has the city commission has the authority to then, make an amendment via
Yes, sir.
unanimous decision. All right.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
It's just something that we wanted to work out with them up front because, obviously
Sure.
we don't want to put you guys in that position where you're having to kind of, unwind something. So I do feel like we're good. And the people that I've talked to about the project felt like this was an acceptable restriction.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Where
I
we
don't
at,
have
Ken?
any things with consent or bids or anything. So I don't know if the mayor has anything.
I don't either.
Okay.
We're at 6H. It's just the commission meeting minutes. to approve
Yeah,
those.
I mean, I don't need to see
Yeah.
those either.
Yep. All right. Go down to 8A. I'll go.
Yeah.
So some of these, Kevin and Gabe, I'll handle the ones that are repeats, and you can go over the first ones. Go down to 8A, Candace.
You want me to skip 7?
Yes, they asked us to skip it. Yes.
Okay.
So 8A is the second reading of the land use change. This is for the project over there on High Ridge for High Ridge Country Club. This is running along with that abandonment that's allowing them to expand the golf course. That's A, B, and C are all related to the abandonment of the right-of-way within their property, and it's rezoning it, the land use and the zoning to rec so that they can fully accomplish what they want to do, because I think they have a $40 million project coming to redo the whole entire golf course here in the next year or so, I believe. And this is second reading. You guys have already heard that one. Go down to 8D. This is also on second reading. This was a cleanup of the infill IPUD regulations and just clarifying that it's only for residential purposes. You got any questions on that particular item? Okay. And then I'll let Gabe or Kevin, you guys run with 8E, F, and G, please.
All right. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
you.
good. I had to switch laptop. Good evening, Mayor.
You're echoing really bad.
Gabe, why don't you jump in?
Is my audio better?
Yes.
So this is for the Josie's restaurant along Federal. It will be a future land use map amendment with a rezone and a site plan. I think I'm still echoing somewhere.
Because there's 2 microphones, I think, working.
Right now?
Is that better?
Yes.
So yeah, this is just for the Josie's restaurant. You saw on consent was the release of unity of title. It's to rezone for the commercial and allow for that development to move forward. The applicant will be there for their presentation, and staff will also have a presentation available if commission so chooses have to go forward. Any
Did
questions?
you guys want to see any of the plans or site plans to bring up real quick, or are you guys good, or wait till the meeting? Okay.
Sorry,
Moving
I was
on.
muted. I'm fine until I see the presentation. I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And 10A is we've met with the county. After our meeting, they are allowing us to move forward with Bamboo Lane, being that it's an enclave. We're not running it through using the utility service agreements to do that, accomplish that. We're working through them with the enclave annexation. This interlocal agreement does accomplish that. Gabe, am I missing anything? Is there anything else that?
Kevin
You're
again.
on.
Am I better now?
Yeah, there it goes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'll just add to that. Thank you, Andrew. So yeah, so both planning staff, the city and county attorney's office and city administration, county administration have been working together on this. In part, Florida statute has a specific section that deals with enclaves. And in that section of Florida statute, the state notes that it's actually policy of the state to eliminate such enclaves due to the problematic nature for service delivery, whether that be fire, police, or infrastructure. So the county does agree, with the premise of this obviously meets the Florida statute definition of an enclave and has agreed to the language in an interlocal agreement to allow for the annexation of the Bamboo Lane area through this method of annexation, which again is allowed per Florida statute.
Is there any other items that'll come after this, or is this the last item to accomplish this, Kevin?
There will. So what the chain of events will be, should the city commission approve this on the 20th, then the county commission will schedule the interlocal for the county commission's approval. And then once they approve that, then the future land use and zoning changes for these properties will come back at a subsequent public hearing before the city commission.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. You want to go ahead and take 10B and C as well while you're on?
Sure. So B and C are follow-up items to previous board discussions. The first, I believe it was in early November at one of the city commission meetings. Under public comment, there were a few members of the public that spoke about having free little libraries and pantries on their property, and the fact that the city code does not allow for those. So there was direction given for staff to do some research, look at how other jurisdictions handle it or do not handle it. So what we'll be doing is coming to you with a presentation on various jurisdictions, both locally as well as in other states, and how they handle it. I will note that most jurisdictions, at least locally, don't have provisions in the code that would allow for it. However, there are some examples. I'll note the village of Lake Park in northern Palm Beach County. They do have a section of their code specifically for little free libraries, but in order for a property owner to participate, they have to do that via a program through their library. So it's in coordination with the library. So basically staff will be, highlighting that findings and then seeking board direction if the board would like city staff to work on an ordinance to make any changes to allow for such uses or to just maintain the code, which currently would not allow for these.
Okay. You want to go on to 10C?
Sure. And then this again is another follow-up item. This is a follow-up to the joint CRA City Commission workshop that was held in early November, where direction was given to explore the development of a Marina District overlay. So again, this will be an informational presentation as well as seeking direction from the City Commission. So we will highlight certain, I wouldn't say at this point recommendations, but suggestions of, what such an overlay could look like for the city of Boynton Beach, some proposed geographical areas, proposed uses, and then again, we'll be seeking some board direction on, the specifics of what such an overlay would look like. So then staff can go forward and draft those applicable land development regulation updates to bring back an ordinance to the commission for adoption at a future meeting.
Excellent.
And I apologize for my voice. This is my first day recovering from the flu, so I know I don't sound perfect.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. All right, that concludes our agenda. Is there any items that you need to discuss, Mayor Shelton or Commissioner Turkin or staff? Do you have any items that we need to discuss before we adjourn?
I'm good.
Nope, I'm good to
I'll wait
go.
for the meeting.
Well, I hope you guys had a good time in Tallahassee, and we're glad to have you back and look forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday night. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.